Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today I am reviewing the Owl House Season 2 finale episode 21 called King's Tide. And we're in the video here. Speaking of King, he's right there with that crack in his skull because I made a mini review and I typed like who or what cracked King's skull, and I think I put it in the just I put it in the description of the mini review, like what happened to King's collar. We obviously see it here, but of the image that I pulled up, he wasn't wearing it. And that's strange because ever since the episode, what was the episode called? I guess spoilers for the episode, Echoes of the Past. I think that was episode 3, I believe, of season 2. That was a while ago. That's where that's where his collar. We learned how he got his collar because Ida gave it to him, and he carved that that symbol in there, and now he's no longer wearing it. I guess we'll find out in this episode. But yeah, we're finally here. We are finally at the season 2 finale, and even though we technically still had the season 3 specials and the series finale, but this is the final season finale of a full season. We had the season 1 finale, and now we had the season 2 finale, and now even though season 3 specials, I'm glad we still have a kind of season 3. It's still not a full season 3, so but I guess without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so before we get to King here with his cracked skull down the staircase, we first start with King in another dream sequence. How many has he had? One of these. Okay, so he had the first one in the episode, O Titan, where art thou? I think that was the first one. The next one was... Oh, he had a little one, not not a dream sequence, but he could hear the collector, and that was in Clouds of the Horizon, I think. And this is the third one, I guess, the second full one, but technically third one, where he's in that I'm not sure what you would call it, the in between space, because we see those cubes and from episode 10 when Luce was talking to her mom, when you look through the reflections and stuff like that. That's how Luce talked to her mom in the human realm. So King's there again, and we see the collector in this Master Ball Pokemon ball or something. I guess a beast trapped. And he's talking to Bells. He's like, I want to be out. And, Bells is like, you have to wait patiently because the drain spell is almost done, but it's not completed yet. So, you gotta wait. And he's like, oh, and then King's kind of bored of all this nonsense. He's like, oh, geez, what's going on over there? They're kind of talking too much. And obviously the collector hears something. He doesn't know what, but he's like, hey, who's there? And King's like, he wakes up. And basically King is with Willow, and Willow's trying to think of something because everyone's starting to get restless. And I understand when you're flying for too long, you just kind of want to do something, especially since they're just trying to help. But Alador, Amity's dad, he's the adult, and he's bickering up to a point where Gus is gonna tell him how bad of a job he's doing because basically Hunter wants to rescue his sister because basically Luce is her little sister. Baby's oh, Mr. Blood, you're flying too slow. Maybe if I got a hold of the ship, maybe we'll get there faster. And Alador, he has the goal of saying, oh, you're eager to return to the Emperor, huh, Golden Guard? If you go back to the I'm trying to think, was it the previous episode? I think it was in Clouds of the Horizon when they thought Hunter was captured and Luce was saved because Hunter and Luce did a switcheroo type of thing, so Luce can protect her brother Hunter because they care about each other. So obviously Luce is gonna protect, is going to protect him, because Kikimora was going to capture him. Like, oh yeah, finally catch it. And Luz knows what happens to the Grimwalkers when Bells gets hold of them. Once they're finally deemed useless, Bells kills them. And obviously Luz doesn't want Hunter to die, like the other 9 million probably created. Who knows how many you created? Probably more than 9 million. But Luz obviously doesn't want Hunter to die, so that's why she switched places. But to the in that current place where Aldor, including everyone, except for Gus and Hunter, because Gus was performing the illusion. That's how they did the switcheroo. Everyone's like, "Oh, we gotta rescue Hunter because they're friends now." Was it a little bit rushed for Amity to consider Hunter kind of like a friend to go rescue him? Yeah, kind of was, but we have a short time to resolve everything, so Amity's just gonna say, yeah, we should rescue him. But Aldor said, "Oh, you want to go rescue your friend?" Everyone was kind of ready to fight for Hunter because we didn't know what Aldor was gonna say, but he's like, "Okay, you're gonna need a pilot." So Aldor was willing to, go rescue Hunter, but now when they're rescuing Luz and Hunter was trying to suggest something, Aldor thinks that Hunter thinks he's thinking that Hunter wants to return to the Emperor. Like, then why were you agreeing to rescue him in the first place? Like you know what I mean? I mean, if it was the case where everyone was we need to rescue Hunter, and Aldor's like, oh, he just wants to go back to the Emperor, like who cares? Sorry, there's a noise happening. But so if Aldor said like who cares? He's just planning something to go back to the Emperor, and I'm just going with you guys just to make sure you're safe. Then okay, I guess that would make kind of sense. But he says you're gonna need a pilot. I'm gonna help you guys. So I don't understand what Aldor's mindset is of saying I'm gonna help you guys rescue Hunter, but now Hunter is trying to rescue his sister, essentially. Aldor is thinking, oh, you're just going back there for the Emperor. Why would you think that? I don't know. Someone in the comments below. What was Aldor's mindset there? I don't understand. That really frustrated me. But and to the point where Hunter and Aldor were like pointing fingers, and obviously no one's steering the ship, and Gus was about to fall off, and Gus is like, hey, someone fly the dang ship. And I'm agreeing with Gus. Like, there needs to be an adult on the ship. There's no adults on the ship. I know it. Gus knows it. King knows it. Everyone knows it. Jeez. Honestly, I was kind of getting really annoyed, and I was kind of the only good one really was King, Willow, and a little bit Amity. But Amity was kind of getting into the bickering too. But she was like, "We don't have time for this. We need to rescue this." But slowly and surely, she was kind of getting to the bickering also. So I was really team Willow and King, saying, okay, we gotta stop this nonsense without getting into the bickering, because but first it was Aldor and Hunter bickering. Gus wanted to stop it, but now Gus is getting to the bickering, and Amity wanted to stop it, and now Amity's into the bickering. Like, jeez. So the only mature ones is Willow and King. Like, King's like what, the 10 years old. Ugh. Jeez, it's really embarrassing. I'm not scared. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was embarrassing for me to watch that. Jeez. But and King's like, oh man, I really want to stop this, and Will's like, I want to stop it too, but we gotta stop it in a way so we don't get involved with this mess. And then the Palismans look like they're smart. I'm not sure they're the smartest creatures on Earth, but they're smart, and they kind of understand emotions, and they're kind of talk to Willow without talking to Willow, saying like, hey, they probably need some food. And was like, oh, hey, little guys, that's a great idea. So they offer food, like, hey guys, shut up and eat some food, seriously. So someone mentioned that it kind of sounded like a Snickers commercial, like, oh, when you're stressed out, you're acting like a monster, you eat a Snickers, it calms you down. I mean, I guess, but it was cheese and grapes, not really chocolate and candy. I mean, I guess it did solve the situation, but you also had to understand that they were really stressed out and they were hungry. You even heard their tummies growling. So, like, yeah. So, I mean, I guess I kind of get it, the Snickers commercial, but there was no chocolate there, so I'm not going to count that. So, yeah. Different perspectives, people. Different perspectives. But, anyway. what was I getting? Oh, King's like, oh wow, Willow, that was really smart. Along with the talisman, but that was really smart of you. And Willow's like, hey, um, we want to help, right? And King's like, oh yeah, I really want to help them. Like, yeah, but sometimes you always feel like you're powerless and you can't do something. But when the opportunity strikes to help, you have to reach for that opportunity. And obviously, like, she really means that, like, the safest opportunity, like, of what you can find. But she's like, when the opportunity strikes, take it if it's gonna help everyone. And Kane's kind of thinking about that, like, because everyone in his life saying like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, and even when he finds out he's a Titan now, he's a baby Titan or little kid Titan, I guess. He said, oh, I'm a Titan, I can help somehow, and he's like, oh, look, King, I know you're Titan, you're really excited, but you're still a little guy, so how about let's wait until we're done with this spell stuff, and then we tell everyone, because this is obviously King's Ida's basically adopted son. She wants to protect him, so obviously she has a point. But this is like a kind of like another person telling King that he can't do something, even though this is basically what he is. He still has to keep it a secret. So I get Ida's perspective, but King's like, oh, man, another one. So and now Willow's gonna give an advice that when the opportunity strikes, take it. And King's like, an opportunity, huh? Okay. So that was a nice bonding moment between Willow and King, because I'm not sure they ever really bonded before. Probably need to look back in episodes of season 1 and season 2, but I don't think they ever really bonded like this. So that was really nice. So let's see what's next. Words. What's next? Oh, right. So we basically get to the Day of Unity. Everyone's getting rounded up and everyone's really excited. Some people are getting nervous. It's like a mixed bunch. I wish it was kind of more of a equal playing field of how people felt about the Emperor. To me personally, after kind of going over a couple times in my head, it feels kind of wishy-washy. It kind of feels like of how people are supposed to feel about the Emperor is designated for the type of episode that they're supposed to be in. Like when there is a type of episode that people need to support someone and that just happens to be against the Emperor, the townsfolk is gonna be against the Emperor. But when it's just a regular ceremony, they're gonna be for the Emperor. It's only when like the plot is convenient for that type of situation, that's where the townsfolk are gonna be for that, apart from the main characters where they're gonna have their own distinct personalities. And I just wish it wasn't like that. I wish they had their own personalities. I'm not saying they have to be fully three-dimensional characters, like those little side characters. So they don't have to be three-dimensional, but a little bit one and a half to 2-dimension, where when they love the Emperor, they just love the Emperor, and when they hate the Emperor, they just hate the Emperor. And if you want to be an arc, show the arc. Like, not just make it convenient. This is my opinion, but it kind of feels a little bit wishy-washy. But anyway, besides that, so everyone's cheering for the Emperor. They switched again. Anyway, so the Emperor is basically like, oh, head witch covens, get up here, and everyone's basically going up, and Darius and Nebulous, they're like, okay, everyone knows the plan, and they're like, okay. And basically have Lilith and Hootie kind of saying silence along with Rain, and Ida transformed to Rain. But before that, basically Lilith's like, hey, something goes wrong, howl or scream or maybe, because Lilith is the older sister. Even though we were focused on Ida so much, Lilith is supposed to be the older sister, and she wants to protect her. I really wish Lilith got more spotlights, but something you can do. But so, and who's like, oh yeah, scream really loudly, like, please. And he's like, hey, I'd like to call back where Ida says like, oh, don't worry, Lily, and with this spell declared, I promise that I'll come back. And she hugs her sister. She gives Hootie a little kiss on the forehead. Oh, so cute. And like she turns into Rain. And Ida Rain, basically, Ida disguises Rain, looks at the real Rain, and gives like a wink and shows like the golden saggletooth, and she puts it away, and she basically goes up there. And when Ida disguises Rain, goes onto the marks, basically, she goes onto the Bard track mark, the Bard Coven mark, and everything's glowing up. Basically, she's looking back at Lilith and Rain for the last time. Well, so I'm not sure what I said the last time, but she basically looks at them one more time, basically, and we see a group of students. So we basically see, and they're all happy. Most of them, because we see Lily, we see Rain, we see Principal Bump, we see Aldor, Odalia, Darius, Gus's father, Perry. I believe that's him. It kind of looked like Gus. I'm assuming that was Gus's father, and I believe that's it. I think it was those seven. In the comments below, if I missed anybody, but I believe it was those seven. And then it just all blurred away, and it's just back to Rain and Lilith just gave like sad looks because they don't know what's gonna happen. And then and Bells is like, "Oh, you're doing like the Titan proud and all that hoopla," and everyone's cheering, and then Bells starts to spell, and everyone's mark starts glowing, and Bells whispers goodbye, Boiling Isles, and then teleports away. He's not even gonna watch it because like I just want it to happen because he just hates witches. So and basically he talks to the collector again, and the collector's like, "Oh, finally, after so long, like I'm finally gonna be free. We've been talking about the drain spell for days, but I'm glad that we did it. So now we done like your part of I done my part of the deal, like in helping you, and now you get to help me, and you get to free me, and your dream spell. It started out to be fun, but now I'm really bored. Yeah, I can't believe I'm playing the same games for who knows how long. I want to play a new game." And Belle's like, "Oh, how are you gonna do that?" "Well, you're gonna free me, right?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry, no can do." He's like, "What do you mean?" Like, what we talking about? It's like, "Collector, you're way too powerful to be out in the open." And he's like, "Well, what are we talking about? You promised, you pinky swore. Like, I taught you magic like no one else can comprehend. Is that's why I'm not gonna free you. Like I can't let anyone else get their hands out." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's what you meant. Like you're too powerful to get out. Not like you're gonna kill everybody." It means that you could, if someone sweet talks you, you could teach it to someone else. I don't want that to happen. And then he just covers him up because someone's getting at the door, like, who could be at this hour? And it's Kikimora. Oh my goodness. And basically, here's like a weird thing. And you can only see the excuse for it's magic like so many times, even though it's a magical world. I just don't like to use it too many times because basically, when Luce was captured disguised as Hunter, when Kikimora was like flying off to the Emperor's castle with like that beautiful red moon, we saw like it was like see-through. You could see because when Hunter turned into Luce, basically like the disguise went away, you saw Luce. It was a see-through thing. But when Kikimora brought Luce in, like the capture the crystal thing was basically like it had like a shell, like a closed off shell, like you couldn't see anything. So like what happened? Like did Kikimora put a spell on the thing? But how come we didn't see it? Like that. I don't know. I might be nitpicking, but that was a little weird. But he's like, "Oh, I brought you your golden guard." So, "Oh, thank you. You can go now." It's like, but she's like, "I don't mean to be a bother, like dear Emperor, but like this tremendous day of the Day of Unity. I can't believe we're winning. This is so cool." But I understand that you put me in the positions that you did because I failed a lot. I'm sorry, but I was wondering, since I captured the golden guard for you, and like you like basically were tirelessly like wanting this, and I did it for you. Could I please have a promotion, and maybe possibly it doesn't have to be this exactly, but maybe I could possibly be your right hand. And then Philip had the audacity. Well, not audacity. Like I was like, dang. He's like you want to be my right hand. I'd rather chop off my right hand, my whole right arm. In fact, he's like, "What do you mean?" Like, Kate was like, "Ouch!" Like, I just want to help you. Like, you want to help me? And he grabs. Oh, he even like grabbed his green like goop scar and like he like took it off. I'm like, huh. wonder why he didn't do that before. Maybe because he thought this was a great occasion, like, I don't need this anymore or something. I don't know. But he grabs the staff and just whooshes Kikimora in her suit of armor to like the edge of the door, basically, past the door. And she's like, "You want to do something for me? Why don't you find a hole to wither away in?" I was like, dang, I don't like Kikimora. I don't like her one bit. But I was like, oof. oh man. And basically, Bells takes a collector in that sphere thing. And it takes off the sheep. And he's like, I can't believe you're doing this to me, Phil. And it's like, yeah, I'm like, too bad. It's like, you're a liar, pants on fire. The collector's such a kid. I wonder how the collector lives for so long. Do they die? Or are they all captured or something? I don't know, because why aren't there more collectors unless there's just the one? But how is he such a kid? But we also have that. I'm pretty sure it's like another collector that basically took the owl beast and turned it into a curse. Because that was just a free bird, like a free animal. But the collector collected it, trapped it basically, and turned it into a curse. We have no idea what happened to that collector. What happened to him? Or was it her? I'm not sure anymore. But what happened to them? That's still an unsolved mystery, unless that's our collector right here. But this seems... That collector seems more menacing. This one seems more childish menacing. I really hope it's not a situation where we have to change the character because of the short-timed. Because I think that... Because if that's the case... I mean, I guess it is what it is. But if that's really the case, one, it's disappointing. Two, that could have been an interesting story to dive deep into the essence of basically of how the owl beast turned into the curse and find that collector. And you can still have that collector be tied to Bells somehow. I'm not saying you can't do that, but really go into like the owl beast. But now you have this collector, and I'm not saying it is 100% certain, but I'm saying if that is the same collector and they decide to change like their goal basically and their mannerisms basically, I really think that was a waste opportunity. I guess this would be waste opportunity number 2. The first one was basically Amity as Love's protege, like Love being Amity's mentor, and have that like conflict with Amity. Like I think that was missed opportunity number 1 because I was like, oh, that's cool in episode 5 of season 1, and then never happened again. They never interacted ever again. That's my opinion, along with a bunch of other people that's fan of the Owl House. That was a missed opportunity. And I guess this, for me, this is missed opportunity number 2 with the collector. Because I think that collector in I forgot what episode it was, but it was like those 3 different stories with the one with Ida. She finally gets her heartbeat form, and how we learned that this collector person, how the owl beast was just an animal, and the collector captured it. Like, geez, what a jerk! And they had this menacing laugh. I'm like, okay, who are you? Are you the collector? Because that's what the credits said. Oh, this is the collector. And now we have this collector is more of a kid. I'm like, I really hope this isn't the same person, but we're really coming to the end game, and I think there might be the same person. They just rewrote the mannerisms, and I think the original collector had so much potential. I really hope I'm not in the minority here who thinks that. And I really hope I'm not coming across as a jerk, but I really think that collector had potential. And really go into the owl beast. Like, why was the collector going after that beast specifically? Is this like their first capture? The most recent capture? Like, what's going on? Like, I would really like to know more about that story. But, maybe there might be 2 separate collectors, but the question is, what happened to that collector? Did someone kill him? Like, how do you kill the collector? Who knows? I don't know. And it comes below. What happened to that collector? I'm going to call it the cool one, I guess, like the more menacing one, the mysterious one. This collector is just the childish one, which is fine. I don't really have anything against it. Just I prefer the other one. But anyway, enough about that. We know your liar, pants on fire, and Bells just dropped him. Jeez, along with the clothes. I don't need it either. Just and let's see. A bit Bellows goes back to the throne room basically and finds it's like, oh, and Kikamura, you couldn't even do this job, right? He's still roasting her, and she's probably hearing it, but he doesn't even know if she's hearing it or not. Kikamura, you couldn't even do this job yet. And she knew he he knows his listener. It's like, oh, it was so good to see you, my fellow human. And he's like, oh, no fight in you left? Oh, I'm disappointed. Oh, Bella's with the smack talk, y'all. And Lucy's like, oh, not quite. And she's just boom, like a flaming toss. And Bella's obviously dodges it. I'm like, okay, how are we gonna do this? Is Bella's gonna win? And that's gonna go into the season 3 specials, or what's going on? Is Lucy gonna outsmart the Emperor? Will that work? Or how are they gonna do this? And I'll talk about it when we get to it. But so basically Lucy's doing a couple spells, and this is kind of interesting of how are we gonna go to more of like the, maybe not the Titan being alive, but like the Titan spirit maybe, because of how you said like the island basically kind of shows you the way, and you listen to the island. To Ida, it's more metaphorical because that is a good lesson. Like, you learn focus, you learn temperance, and you listen to the nature around you. That's a beautiful lesson that can still be implied. It's not like a mess up lesson that can still be applied. Ida is great. I love Ida. I wish she taught more, but that was so great. But I wonder, the stars showing that light glyph, I wonder if that's the Titan spirit talking to Luce. Because Philip basically, Bellas, whatever you want to call him, the Emperor, he basically says, like, oh, like, I can't believe the island's been showing you all of how the combined cliffs. Dang, he doesn't say dang. He's too old for that. But he's like dang, Luce, like, it took me years to figure that out. I wonder if the Time Spirit, maybe not right away, over time learned that Philip is a bad man and decided not easily show him, like, how to combine glyphs and stuff like that. But the Time Spirit saw that Luce isn't perfect, but far from it. But that Luce has a kind heart, and she's growing on the isles in her own pace. Not fast, but in her own pace. And the Titan is slowly but surely teaching her the glyphs and stuff, and teaching her how to combine glyphs, and waiting for her to learn a lesson each day and continue her growth. I wonder, is that where we're going with, like, the Titan spirit is showing her? Because why would Bella say, like, oh, the island's showing you, and it took me years for me to figure it out? I wonder, because I don't think the Titan's alive, because we see the skeleton, so, yeah, maybe it's the Titan spirit. I wonder, if we're going by the Titan spirit, maybe because basically the Titan's king's dad, maybe the Titan can use the stars to say, I love you, son, or something. Like, come on, like, something, right? It probably would happen, probably. But basically, they're out there fighting, and the Emperor's just like blasting it away because he's just too awesome. We go back to I don't want the crew, basically, like Aldor, Amity, Willow, King, Gus, Hunter, and the Palismans. And they're in the airship, and they're getting knocked down. Gus is turning into illusion. It's birds, and there's like a coming scout. Don't fall for that illusion. And so it starts blasting them. And he's like, how did they find this? And he's like, Mom, like Amity's just done. Because we don't know where Odalia went, but I guess she just called for help. Like, go stop those refugees, or well, are they called? Well, rebels. And it comes to what were they called? Would they be called rebels? Because I'm not sure they're official cat member. I guess I guess it'd just be cats, right? I'm just gonna call them rebels. I don't know why I'm overthinking this, but stop those rebels, basically, and then they basically get knocked down, and King, like, it feels like he's like in a war zone, because like he basically gets knocked down, and it was, oh, that's how he got the crack in his skull, because he face planted, and he's like, ow, and basically I forgot which staff he was on. I think it was Gus who was carrying him. I could be wrong because I don't have it currently with me, but I believe it was Gus. In the comments below, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was with Gus. And King's like, oh, what's going on? And they're flying, but it's taking them a while to fly there. We get back to Ida and Darius Eberwolf along with the rest of the crew. And I didn't like this because Terra Snapdragon. Oh, I knew my assumptions were right. I knew something because Edith's curse is taking effect of disrupting the spell, and because there was even a couple like that was in the crowd saying it's getting weaker, and it's like, okay, it's time. Oh, Adrian, you want to do the honors? He's like the illusion guy. He's like, oh yeah, I like a good twist. I even forgot to mention because remember Gus like messed up his mind. He looks like he hasn't shaven it in a few days, so he looks all messed up. And he's like, "Don't question my appearance." But sorry. Besides that, I just forgot to mention it. But besides that, I didn't like this of how because remember when Kikimora in the previous episode says that oh yeah the Emperor has eyes everywhere. They know about the outlady in our plans to like to stop the spell basically. And Tara's like, I knew my assumption was right. Like, how did Tara know that? I wish they kind of talked about that more of how Tara exactly knew. Um, how did she knew the exact plan was going on? I thought there was a mole, but spoiler alert before anyone says like, oh, it could still be a mole. No mole, no mole at all. Like, don't even get excited about it. Don't get excited. So that was a big point out for me. Like. Like, Kikimora said the Emperor has eyes everywhere, and Tara's like, I knew it. Like, what did you know? Like, how'd you figure it out? Like, well, whatever. I don't know. I guess you can say because Adrian is an illusion master, he just figured it out that, Rain was illusion. And I guess Adrian just told Tara, but Tara was praising it like she knew for, like, a while now, not for, like, a couple of minutes. So, I don't know. That whole scene was just weird. I'm like, the whole and then here's another big like a thumbs down. They like the guards that captured Rain, Lilith, and Hootie. They put Hootie in this little case. All the Coven guards they look fine. Remember when Hootie just messed them up, and like the what was it called Agony of a Witch, before the season 1 finale of how Hootie just trashed them. The Coven guards look fine. What happened to Hootie? Like, at least show him a little banged up or something. Like, it just Hootie looks captured and he has tears in his eyes. He's like, oh my god, he need to rescue me. Hootie, what happened? I don't understand. That was a big thumbs down for me. But they get captured and basically Rain basically turns back into Ida. Basically, the illusion fades away. And they're like, no, you're making a big mistake. And then Tara's like, oh, my biggest mistake was letting you, live all those years ago. Like, this lady is crazy. But it's like, hello, paradise. And Bellows and Luce are still fighting, basically. And basically, Luce is trying to think of an idea, but I can't beat this guy's strength because even though the Titan basically has been showing me this magic more easily than Bells, but Bells has known more spells and he also has a staff. I don't have a staff, so like Luke's trying to think about how am I supposed to do this, and basically Bells basically has a goopy arm and it grabs her. I'm like, oh my goodness, so what's gonna happen? And then we have an interesting conversation where basically it's like, Luce, despite our differences, we're human. And I only have a little bit of Titan's blood left for one last trip. Just to go to the human realm and then that's it. Like, I can take you there. I'm not sure if he knows the whole thing about Luce's mom. Probably not. But whatever family you have there, you can go to them and just leave us behind. Come on, we're human. We're better than this. Like, jeez. And even Luce, like, you're such a hypocrite, Bellows. Even Luce will eat dirt Bellows, and he's like, it's Philip. But, like, the whole Bellows thing to him was just a persona. I am Philip Whittabane, basically. And Luce, like, you're such a hypocrite. Like, you call yourself, like, the savior for humanity, but you're barely human yourself. And Bellows is like, oh, it's what a shame of how this place like tainted you. Basically, he's such an old man, and he's like stuck in his ways, and he's like, And basically the Emperor's like, well, since you don't want to take my offer, because Lucy's basically like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna take your offer, basically, because why would she? Um, the Emperor says, I'm just gonna petrify you, and he has magic just to turn to stone. I'm like, oh my goodness, and just, and she's like, wait, and Lucy's like panicking, and this was a, well, it's the it's the Emperor's basically throne room slash workshop, so it makes sense why that would be there, but it's still a little convenient. Because Lucy's looking around for a solution, and he sees like the Coven sigil mark. Because basically, if you get a sigil on your arm, basically, then you get affected by the spell too. It doesn't matter who you are. So if you get the sigil, then you're bound to the spell. Basically, that's what the kids are safe. Well, except for Hunter, he has a sigil. Oh my god! Oh, I hope Hunter. Please do not make Hunter die. Don't let him die. Oh my goodness. But I'm sorry, I just got a little freaked out because of Hunter, because he's a young kid who has a sigil. But and basically Lucy looking like, oh, that maybe that could work, and then Belle's Lucy like saying that, hey, hey, how about I do take you on your offer? Like, he's like, wait, what? You just say you didn't want to. Like, yeah, well, I changed my mind. I don't want to die, please. But you have to understand something. He's like, what? Times have changed. When I'm hearing Luce talk, and I'm like, shouldn't Bells know that? He's been gone since like the 16th century in the human realm. He hasn't been in the human realm since the 16th century. Of course, times would have changed, but is he? Okay, there is one level of being stuck in your ways, but Bells can't be that stuck in his ways thinking, oh yeah, it's just basically like time has went forward, but nothing has changed. Basically, like there's still wagons, there's still horses. Like, he doesn't know. I mean, how would Bells know anything about technology? Obviously, he has the technology in his staff, basically, but that's it. So obviously that we advance to him and to what he thinks the culture he's gonna go into, but and he even mentioned a Hunter of how he says that the streets are quiet. Like, no, the streets are not quiet. In some places the streets are quiet, but like no, the streets are not quiet in like a lot of places. Like, if you go to New York, like no dude, the streets are not gonna be quiet. But I just find that weird that. Right, isn't that kind of weird that Bells wouldn't think that things would have changed? Sorry, excuse me. Oh, because even Bells took off his cloak, and he's in his Philip Woodbane like trench coat, basically, like the blue one, and with the Golden Guard, the Graysfield symbol, basically, the emblem, I guess it's called. And so he's wearing that. And even Lucy makes fun of his outfit, saying, like, you're going to wear that fashion sense? And Belle's looking at, like, what's wrong with that? I'm like, is he really... He really didn't think... Especially with what Lucy's wearing. That's not what he's wearing. So how come how come he didn't even think for a second that things would have changed? Like, right? Am I the only one... find that weird? That I know he's supposed to be like the old man who's stuck in his ways, but you can't be stuck in your ways like that much, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it too much, but I just find that kind of weird. But basically, Bella's got mad at her and just threw her down and sped up the process. So she's almost the game petrified, and he's like, please, like, so like, oh, you let me get this straight. You want to be my guide? He's like, yeah, like, I'll be your guide. Just please don't kill me, and like, you know, and my friends are probably gonna get here, but they don't have sigils. I guess she's not thinking about Hunter at the moment, but like they don't have sigils, so please just spare them. And like, please, like, Philip, and doesn't say Bells, but Philip, and it almost gets to her, like, the rest of her forehead, and Philip starts to spell. And so they, okay, I promise. It's like, wait, shake it, human style. And she has one hand behind her back, and Philip just looks at her like, come on, man. And Lucy isn't saying anything. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Of how she has both hands open and shakes her hand and then does like this. Oh, she used the invisibility glyph of like to hide it. I was like, okay, that's a cool technique to hide it. And obviously the spell's on him now, so obviously he's getting affected by the drain spell along with everyone else. Because currently, everyone's getting affected, and including Hunter, where he's like, oh, it's starting to burn it. Obviously, Willow is cute. Willow's worried about him. and even Hunter, is burning him, but he's trying to help out Darius. I was like, oh, I hope, hopefully Darius like adopts him or something. That'll be sweet. But who knows what's gonna happen? He's like, Darius like, wake up, and but so I think it was a good technique of Luce using the invisibility glyph to hide the glove, basically. But I just think it's weird that Bells is so stuck in his ways that he didn't think about the technology would have changed and people's ways wouldn't have changed and the fashion would have changed. I just think this kind of like a weird decision to go forward with that. Like he's just so stuck in his ways. Like there's only absolutely him. Like, am I the only one who thinks that's kind of weird? So that was like I think my biggest complaint the whole season finale. Just like that's how she tricks him, because even though it was a cool way to use an invisibility glyph to put the sigil on there, and it might be a little convenient that it was just happened to be on the table, but it's kind of like his workshop, so it makes sense why it would be there. But 50-50, just take it or leave it, basically. In my opinion, just take it or leave it. But the whole thing about him just being so stuck in his ways, I mean, I get it, but really? He's that stuck in his ways, he didn't think, like, nothing has changed? I just think it's kind of dumb and weird. Weird writing decision, along with it being kind of dumb. That's just my opinion. So like, and then Lucis has that optimism of saying, like, you can so fix your, like, your stubbornness, Bellows. Like, you can so make things right. She doesn't say, I don't know if anyone's going to forgive you or anything, but, like, you can so make it right to stop the spell. But if you want to save yourself, you can stop the spell. And he just turns into the goop monster. And basically, we go back to everyone who's getting affected by the spell. And Terra Snaptrack is looking at Rain saying, Rain, look, like, we're going to paradise, right? And Rain's just looking, shaking their head like, you moron. And Terra's like, what have I done? Yeah, you dummy. But basically, I say, oh, Lucy, like, did you really think? Lucy's basically kind of running away from Bells, and he's just like a big monster. He's super scary. And then he say, hey, Lucy, like, why did you come here by yourself? You knew we. Like, come on, you had to know that we were going to help you, right? And Belle's is looking at the reunion saying, like, you witches are evil. And I love how Gus cares for King. He's like, King, this is going to get very scary. I don't want you to get hurt. Just stay here. And King's like, I want help. And then basically, we finally get to this where he just falls down the stairs. And yeah, I've been talking for a long time, so I'm just going to wait for that to go away. Okay. And then, poof, he's like, oh. And, yeah, look at Bells right there. And King's like, oh, man, what am I going to do? Basically, we get Kikimora. And she's like, it's pointless. Bellows can't stop the spell more than they can. Only the Collector has that power. And King's like, the King obviously heard of the Collector when Luce was going through Philip's journal, basically, of how Philip's like, I'm going to meet the Collector, basically. And King's like, oh, the Collector, who's that? And basically King still doesn't have a full idea of who the Collector is, because all he heard was the Collector. Like, so that's what King's like. He's not being mean or anything, but he's kind of like, okay, who's the Collector? But it's like, this is the second time I heard hearing of this guy. Like, who is he? And basically Kikimora's like, nor witch or demon, a child of the stars. So I'm like, is that figurative or literal? And how literal? Is he just born from outer space, or is he literally born from an actual star? Like, is the star like their parents or something? Like, are the stars like alive? Like how are we going about this? I'm not complaining or anything. I'm just asking a bunch of questions. And he's like a child from the stars, and Bells always talked to them, and Bells was always afraid of him. And like, oh, he thinks he was always by himself, but I was always listening. But yeah, she's so small. Like, yeah, she can just fit into like a cupboard or something. And then and King's basically like an opportunity, and King's like, take me to him. And I love how Kikimora's like, if it's gonna kick the Emperor's butt, gladly. Well, that's cool that Kikimora's gonna help King. And we basically have Amity with the abomination whip, and Gus is like okay, Bellows, time to calm down, and basically we have Luce using a plant glyph, and Willow is trying to like you kind of connect with Luce's plant glyph by using actual plant magic. And I love this. Bellows was gonna hurt Willow, and oh wait, sorry, that doesn't happen yet. I was thinking of something else, but it doesn't happen yet. But basically, Amity's going to like kind of help out, and dang, hey, take a look at this. So that's Bellows' brother, and so we have to basically we're pretty sure that Bellows killed his brother, but was that knife meant for her? I'm assuming this is like the witch that probably his brother like met, and they're probably like friends, or maybe even girlfriend or something. I don't know. But was that knife meant for her, and he got in the way or something? And is this Bellows feeling guilty about it? Like, dude, how many years was it ago? You're still feeling guilty? What's done is done, man. But anyway, I just want to show this. I just want to go back to that. Wait, hold on. I'll go back to the portraits in a second. But you see how Gus is like fully contributed. The Bellows is like a monster with a lot of trauma and memories. And you look at Gus is like sweating. And I love how Hunter rescues Gus. But look at this. The spell is still active. And I just want to look at that face. Because I'm gonna go back to the portraits. So those memories that we saw flashing Bellows' mind, Gus knows. But look at that face. That face is not okay. He's like, what in the heck did I just saw? So we're gonna go. We're just hopefully that clip wasn't too long. I don't want to get copyrighted or anything. But I want to go back to his portraits. So we have wait, hold on. So we have Bellows, his brother, and I'm assuming is this a witch he fell in love with, or just a witch that he just met, or friends or something. Is he like introducing her, or we don't know, but he kind of feels kind of guilty about it, but who knows what's going on. Wait, hold on a second. Obviously that's Philip, because we see like the face, and that's like the knife he's holding, and I'm assuming that's like his brother, and he's like dead, and there's like blood in the knife, and there's like a fire around. So we're assuming Gus like knows about this, right? Yeah, pretty sure. So Gus has like a first memory of Bellows, and I'm pretty sure like when he sees the painting, he has like a description of Bellows's like actual thoughts in the memory is coming to play also. It's not just like a painting he has to interpret. I'm assuming some frames in the memory like are going to Gus's mind also. I'm like assuming. So what Gus, I'm assuming like 90%, like I'm pretty sure that Gus knows is that Bellows' brother was introducing his friend, maybe girlfriend, to Philip, and Philip had like a knife behind his back and was going to like kill one of the two. Maybe Gus doesn't know which one, and that's probably connected with this painting that Philip has a knife in cold blood, and that's his brother down there with like a fire around. And Gus doesn't know what happened to the witch. She probably ran away, or she dead too. Who knows? But Philip killed his brother. So Gus knows. And look. You can see like Bellows is screaming. And look, that's Philip. That's like the outfit, the blue trench coat. I think this is the lab where he's creating Grimwalkers. The question is, so obviously Gus knows the term about Grimwalkers, because Gus, Hunter was kind of too fast before Gus like saw the books about Grimwalkers, like in the legend of them and stuff. And obviously, Hunter was telling Luz like, don't tell Willow and Gus like about me being a Grimwalker, like about me being a clone, because Hunter doesn't want to be treated any different, because he just got them as friends. He doesn't want to lose that, even though they're still going to treat you the same. But again, to tell a 16-year-old boy that like how is he gonna take that, like you know, and everyone's different, so But now we're not sure if Gus knows about Hunter being a Grimwalker, but he knows that Philip is creating Grimwalkers. So it is Gus. Does Gus question is does Gus know that Hunter's a Grimwalker, or is that going to lead up to the fact? Because we know for a fact that Gus knows about Grimwalkers in general now because he has a memory of that, and Philip created it. And was that the last frame? Was that the last memory? Trying to. I think okay. So that was the last one, and that's pretty cool. The Hunter saved Gus and like that face is now okay, and oh my, oh. And Bellows is manipulative to the end. I wanna play this. Hopefully it won't be too long.
Why are you hurting me? I only wanted to help you. You're lying.
So I really hope that wasn't too long. But that creepy Bellows face and the goopy body, oh my goodness. And but honestly looking pretty cool with like the hair and stuff. But he's like, Hunter, why are you trying to help me? Why are you trying to hurt me? I only wanted to try to help you. And Hunter's like, I'm glad Hunter's not falling for any of his trash or any of his lies anymore. But he's like, you're lying. But Bellows looked at the talisman at Flapjack and at first along with a bunch of people, we thought he said kill him, because obviously Bellows trains Palisman, so he's to kill him. But and this was kind of like a little bit like when I first watched the episode. So this isn't a spoiler because when you just go to I wonder what do you call it? Oh, sorry, I kind of forgot the name. Captions. When you go to captions, when he says when you think he says Caleb, he actually says Caleb. So now we kind of have a couple of kind of clues. This is the second thing that Caleb has been brought up. The first time that Caleb has been brought up is when Hunter was trying to think of like a different like a different name to join the Emerald Entrails, like Willow's flyer derby team, that be the best and the brightest and that type of stuff. And he doesn't know of a name because Hunter's awkward. And Flapjack came to him and then tweeted, and Hunter was looking at him. He's like, Caleb? It's basically like Caleb question mark because he was like, Caleb? Like Hunter's like, oh, like that name? So Flapjack suggested it to him. And now Bellows is screaming like Caleb when he's looking at Flapjack. So was Caleb Flapjack's previous owner? Because we also have a thing where Flapjack, like a little rascal from all the way back to hunting Palisman, basically, where the Bat Queen like is talking to Flapjack because the Bat Queen's a Palisman also, she can understand them. Where the Bat Queen's like, oh, you found someone after all this time, go to them. So Flapjack hasn't had an owner in a long time. So we have two names of Caleb, and Bellows knows Caleb. And Flapjack, out of all people, goes to Hunter after all this time, out of a million years. Flapjack goes to Hunter, and Bellows happens to know this specific Palisman. Bellows knows him. I wonder if Bellows' brother is named Caleb. It just fits. And how Bellows is like in such rage when he just sees him. Yeah. Especially since Hunter looks a lot like Caleb. We're not 100% sure that's his name, but I'm like 85% sure that that's his name. So but I wonder, did Caleb carve Flapjack, or did that witch friend of his carve him? Or maybe they carved them together, who knows? And basically we get back to King and Kikimora, and look at all the dead golden guards. Like, jeez. And even King's like talking to Kikimora, like, what is this place? And then Kikimora's like, where the failures end up. So look at all these dead golden guards. Like, how many? Jeez. But basically King goes to the tablet, and then it touches it, and here comes the collector. Is that I don't talk to fibbers, and he's like, huh? How come I can't see you, but I know someone's there? And this is interesting. King's collar is glowing. So all that, and then he takes it off, and then now, the collector can see him. So that's why King's collar is off, is because it was, to hide him from the collector, and then, like, and the collector's like, oh my Titan, like literally, you're the Titan. Oh, like, oh, he even says, like, you look like that bully who put me in here. Oh, are you his little Titan baby? And look, he has, like, the face of a Titan, basically. Is that, I always wanted to play with you. But your pops, like, put me away. So, I'm kind of thinking, what was the situation here? Obviously, the collector doesn't really mean any harm. It seems like they just want to have fun. Where they're like, oh, I always wanted, you seem like such a fun guy. I always wanted to play with you. But your pops threw me away, like trapped me. So I'm like, is King's dad evil? Or is the collector evil? Or was it just a misunderstanding? Or how far of a misunderstanding was it? I'm just kind of, that's a big question mark in my opinion. Like, what actually happened? I wonder if we're going to get a flashback. Could happen. Who knows? And then King's just like the whole drain spell, and everyone's going to die. So King's like, there's just no time for games. He doesn't say that, but he's kind of thinking that. He's like, sorry, my voice. But he's like, Mr. Collector, please, I need your help. And he's like, Mister, you're so boring. He's a kid. He's not Mister. And the King's kind of, he's a kid too. He's kind of thinking, oh, hey, you like playing games, don't you? He's like, yeah, I have a great game, the Owl House. Oh, that's perfect. And he's like, oh, how do you play? The collector loves games. He's like, oh, it's a great game, but it's like, oh, actually, never mind. And he's like, what's wrong? He's like, oh, everyone's gonna perish from this ding-dang draining spell. Oh, but that was such a fun game, but I guess we can't play it. And the collector's like, oh, wait, no. Hey, how about we work together? Like, you're a Titan, you can free me, and then I can stop the draining spell, and then we can all play together like friends. And then he's like, oh, golly, would you do that? And he's obviously, the collector is not 100% dumb. He's like, you're not trying to trick me into doing your dirty work, like your chores, like Philip, huh? And he's like, I would never pinky swear. Because even the collector said that before in the previous episode, like, you had to have more faith than pinky swears. Obviously, Bella said to manipulate. And King's kind of doing the same thing because King doesn't know the collector that well. And obviously, everyone along with Bella's monsters making a ruckus upstairs. And King's like, I'll even let you out right now. But what do I need to do? Do I need to give you my blood? He's like, oh, no, silly. Just follow my lead. The collector looks so creepy. And Bella's obviously going after them. And the collector's like, just just put your pinky here. And the King just does it. And hey, look. The collector could gain out. And we get some symbol of when Philip first gets the collector, and he said, like, oh, you're going to help me, collector. And we see this big thing, but it's on the wall, not on the floor. But now it's on the floor this time. And now it cracks, and like, everyone's getting damaged by the drain spell, and Eve's about to die. And oh my gosh, I don't want to play too many clips. I already played 2. But Rain's like, I promised a special kid that I would protect you. Does a promise to Luce. And then Rain took Ida's arm off and just goes away. And now Ida's safe. But now the sigil's gone. And before, I'm not sure Rain ever thought to take off theirs, like after Ida's. But before they can even think of it, they pass out. And oh my goodness, Ida's like, Rain. And yeah, and then the collector is free, and take a look at that cloak, dang. And Luce has a scar now. Everyone has scratches, and look, I love how Willow's holding Hunter because like he's getting infected by the drain spell too. So Hunter is almost gonna die. He's a kid, so he's most likely not gonna die. But if he fully completes, he will die basically. And Bella's is like about to attack again, and Luce is protecting Amity, and basically we have the Collector, and not bad of an outfit. I definitely like the sun and moon, like different faces. He's like, "What you playing?" And I was like, "Who the heck is this?" And then Belle's like, "Oh, Collector, oh, you're free, just like I promised." He's like, "Promised?" I remember someone putting me down a hole, but hey, I'm not mad. And he's like, "Oh, you want to play a game? How about tag?" And he's like, "You're right." And it's this one-shot spells, and he's done. And I'm not mad that Bells goes out this way. It's because the Collector has been pointed out to be like so powerful, so it makes sense. And he's a scuba. Everyone's like, look at Hunter, because even though Hunter basically hates Bells right now, that was still his uncle. So he's like, "Oh my god, this kid, this thing, this killed my uncle." And he's like, oh, game over, basically. And I'm just gonna leave it like that. And basically, Clutcher's like, "Oh, you guys are too slow too. Hey, let's play tag." Like, he's talking menacingly, but he means in a sincere way. And King stops like, "Oh, Collector, buddy, like, you remember the whole promise I did? I love how Collector just loves King now. He's like, 'King, buddy.' Oh, I don't want the Collector to think that King's gonna betray him or anything. It kind of seems like to everyone else is like pawns to the Collector, including Bells now. And King is like a little buddy. Genuinely, the Collector sees King as his friend, like his best friend, basically. So he's just so happy to see King. I love it. And he's like, "Oh, you remember Drain Spell?" And he's like, "Oh, we can all play at Owl House, right?" And then everyone's like, I love to play every hour. I love to play every day." And Hunter decides that he doesn't even know what to say. He just, ugh. And the Collector's like, "Okay." And then the King's like, "Remember, we need a lot of players." He's, yeah, sure, I got it. And the Clutcher's just looking at the moon and everyone else on the island, because he kind of opens his eyes. He can see everyone. He's so powerful. He's like, "Okay." He gets the moon and pff. I think the Clutcher can put the Eternals a run for their money. Seriously. I say you can name any type of Marvel. I'm not sure about DC because I need to brush up on my DC characters, because there's like a lot of space characters for DC. But for Marvel characters, I think you can name any Marvel character, and I think the Collector can just one-shot them all. There might be some where he has to flick maybe twice or 3 times. Like maybe Captain Marvel needs a good like 4 flicks for the Collector to defeat her. But I think essentially the Collector would be stronger than her. The Collector is so powerful. The only way to defeat the Collector is to be his friend, so he doesn't hurt you. Or accidentally hurt you, basically. And he's just, everyone's fine now. And he's like, "You know what?" And the King's like, "Oh, what, buddy? If we're going to play at Owl House, we're going to need an Owl House." He just takes the tiny skull, which is his father's skull, basically, his dad, and just cracks it, and he's going to build an Owl House. I'm like, how's he going to do that? What's it going to look like? It's going to look like a birdhouse? Who knows? And everyone was like, "We got to get out of here." And Will's looking at the portal door, and Willow is like kind of like, I'm not sure what you would call. Yeah, I guess Willow's basically like the leader of the group. And he's like, "Okay, we all need to get out of here now." Oh, and I love the moment where the Collector moves the moon, and everyone is like, said the drain spell basically stops of their arms. Basically, I love how Willow looks at Hunter, and you just see her smile. Does Willow like Hunter? We know that Hunter likes Willow, but does Willow like Hunter? I think she does, or at least like she's kind of starting to like him, because she just looks so happy that Hunter is gonna die from the draining spell. I just love it. I wish I could show it, but I can't. But so everyone's like, "We gotta go," but Lucy's like, eat everyone else. But Amity's like, "Lucy, please, we'll find our way back, but we just all need to go now." And then basically the portal is like kind of falling apart, and Lucy sees this, so she uses a bunch of plant glyphs to kind of hold it together, so everyone else can go through. And then I love how Gus, like, his human knowledge is knowledgeable somewhat, because he's like, "Oh, it's human rain. Don't worry, we can go through, because the rain here is boiling, so it's unsafe. But in the human rain, it is safe. It's not gonna like hurt you or anything." So they all go through, but except for Amity, she wants to make sure that Luce goes safe, but she's holding the door open. So just go through. I need to make sure Edith's safe, but the portal is closing in on you. I gotta let it stay open. And Clutcher sees King. Oh, King, buddy, you promised me that you would play. Remember, your pinky sore, and you just left stays King, so like you don't run up. He kind of traps King in a way, but it's also like you promised that you would play, and you're running away. Well, like, are you lying again? And then Luce is grabbing King by his hand. He said, no, we gotta stay together. I can't lose you too. And King, oh my gosh, he's like, not this time, Luce. I'm so sorry. But I can keep you safe. This is an opportunity. He's kind of keeping Willow's advice to heart. And I love this line. Luce. Oh man, I can't believe. I'm probably going to say this quote wrong, and I'm so sorry. I feel bad. But he's like, oh, I'm pretty sure he said, I'm glad I had you as a big sister. He did this big, like his scream, and then blasts them all, and then Lucy's like, no, King, and then the door closes, and she opens it, because they're in the human realm where it's like that scary cabin thing, and she opens the door, closes it, and opens it again, and yeah, King's on, and everyone's just shocked. While everyone else is in shock, and Luce turns to everyone, Gus is crying because Gus's friends, his dad, they're basically dead. Because even though the drain spell stopped, we don't know what like the owl house is gonna do to everyone else. All they saw was the tiny skull cracking, so to Gus, maybe his dad is dead. And Scar and Viney and the Emerald Entrails team, Scar and Viney are his friends now. And Matt Mathomia is his friend. They're probably all dead. Like, to his knowledge right now, they're probably dead. So now Gus is separated from them and he doesn't know what to do, so he's just crying. And he's also the youngest of the group, so it makes sense. And we have an Amphibia reference. That kind of lightens the mood a little bit. I've said that, Frog World hoax. So I'm wondering if the Amphibia Season 3 finale, before the time skip, I wonder if that happened before the Season 2 finale. I'm kind of wondering. Because why would it have the news report here? I'm pretty sure that it's not going to lead into anything, but just timeline-wise, I'm kind of guessing the Season 3 finale of Amphibia is before the Season 2 finale of the Owl House. I'm assuming. But basically, we obviously have V, and she's helping Camilla, her mom cook, and she hears a knock on the door, and then Camilla's like, and Camilla just sees Luce and her friends, and I love how Hunter's holding Gus, because Gus is his little brother, so he's just holding him because he was crying earlier. He just wants to make sure that he's okay. And basically, Lucy's like, hey, Mom, I'm back. And she's just crying. Tears are welling up. And that's the end of the episode. And we have credits. I wish I could show, but you have credits. Oh, I can't believe I forgot to mention this, but I was caught up with everything else. But when Gus is like, Hunter, we have to go. And Hunter has to go through, essentially, where his uncle was just splattered. He goes through, and we see Belle's group go onto Hunter's, shoulder. And then, I guess, of the goop that was on Hunter's shoulder basically went off, because we see the rain of the cabin door, and if you zoom in and slow it down, we see the goop of Bellows go into the door handle and close the door. But I'm like, what closed the door? Was it the wind? But if you zoom in and slow it down, it's Bellows' goop. So Bellows isn't done. We don't know how much Bellows can hurt people or cause mischief or whatever he's planning to do. Who knows? But he's still out there and he's lingering. I wonder if he can possess people. Who knows? I don't know. But basically, that's the end of the episode. And I'm 75%. This was a good season finale. And I'm pretty sure for season 1, I gave it a 65%. So I guess it's a letter grade up. So yes, this was a good season finale. Big questions with Bells' brother. I'm assuming his name is Caleb. The connection with Flapjack. We have Goop Bells in the human realm. Now the kids are in the human realm. Is anyone else in the Boiling Isles dead? Or Ida lost her arm. Rain, are they fine? This is a bunch of questions. King, I'm pretty sure the Clutter isn't gonna hurt King, so we're pretty sure I'm like 95% sure King is gonna be fine if we go back. But you don't know if the collector's gonna move the Owl House game to, hey, let's bring it to Earth. we don't know. Who knows? But yeah, this probably is gonna be like a long video. But yeah, everyone, don't forget to wait, actually no, sorry, before I forget, thank you so much to my 150 trying to because I recently got 159 subscribers, but I'm just trying to figure out like which one were my recent ones, and I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 159th were my recent, but I think my recent were 157th, 158th, and 159th. I presumably, but my most recent one is my 159th subscriber. I really appreciate you coming by the channel and subscribing. What brought you into the channel? Was it the Owl House? Was it Amphibia? Was it Secrets of Sulphur Springs? Was it The Ghost and Molly McGee? Was it Big City Greens? Or was it a movie trailer reaction? What was it? I'm curious. But yeah, everyone, wait, sorry. So thank you so much to my new subscribers, my original subscribers, and my current subscribers, my new viewers, my current viewers, my original viewers, viewers just coming off and on and off the channel just to check me out. I really appreciate it. So everyone, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to check out my mini reviews. I did one recently, yesterday. Don't forget to check out my mini reviews and my community posts. I am most likely going to do one today about the season 2 finale just to kind of get it done. But I mean, I have to check the time right now. But so yes, don't forget to check out my community posts, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what to do on Friday, because I'm just trying to think, should I just kind of catch up with the Owl House by basically doing what I want to see for the season 3 specials of the Owl House? Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that right now. I'll do like what I want to see for the season 3 specials of the Owl House. I'll do that on Friday, and Saturday I'll do the season 3 special 1 trailer reaction review. I'll do that on Saturday. And then Sunday I'll do like the description. Yeah, because I think my review of the first special of season 1, I think is gonna come out soon, so I should get like that other stuff like out of the way first. So yeah, see you guys for the weekend for that. Okay, bye.